and welcome to this edition of HD's weekly talk show, The Interview, and our two-part series on Omicron. Last week, we took you through Omicron, what science says, and gave you a medical perspective. This week, we examine Omicron, what the stars say, through astrology, tarot cards, and the game of numbers with our panel of experts. Welcome to the show, MANISHA, KOUSHIK, MAHESH Bang, SWETTA JUMAANI, and Dr. AJAIBHAMBI. And thank you for being with us. Let me begin with Mahesh Bang, who's based in South Africa. Mr. Bang, when Omicron hit South Africa, I remember talking to you, and you had said Omicron is nothing but a popcorn. Going forward, this does not seem to be the case.
When I said it's like a popcorn in a very satire way, like a popcorn when you're cooking and when you're eating, it spreads everywhere. So Omicron is like a very, very contagious and it spreads everywhere. And those people who took the vaccination, for them, they won't be so serious. And it will be a mild form of flu. And in South Africa, in 6 weeks' time, now our life is back to normal. Omicron is the way. So this COVID-19 to go, it's a gateway. So Omicron make the weakest variant of COVID-19. And now whatever the variant will come, it will be like weaker and weaker and weaker. According to me, Omicron variant was not as potent as the other variants. Thanks to the huge shift in energy that occurred on 21st November 2021. The planets didn't support or infuse power into this variant.
Dr. Bambi, would you agree or disagree with Mahesh Bang?
I agree with Mr. Bang. For last 4 years, Jupiter is in a fast forward mode. It is not staying in one sign as it used to stay. So due to that, when Jupiter is in the sky, is not comfortable either in a retrograde motion or in a fast forward motion. And this time it was in a fast forward motion for the last 4 years. When Jupiter is upset in the sky, it's going to upset our life, health, and wealth. And if we look back, our health and wealth has gone down the hill. So this is upsetting in all respects. The last wave of this Omicron happened between September and November. That's what I had been saying. Again, the reason was Jupiter was again in a fast forward mode. So now, after November, Jupiter is in a Capricorn, in Aquarius, and when it enters into Pisces on 12th or 13th of April, then it will regain its normal motion. And when it will regain normal motion, then all sort of coronaviruses, whether Delta, whether it's Omicron, or whether it's real COVID-19, they will disappear gradually, and we will not see the same kind of results or havoc which the world has seen throughout last 2 years.
Dr. Bambi, I have heard this story, if I may use the term, last year around. And I remember in 2020, when this question was being asked, everyone said 2021, April or July, I don't remember which, or maybe end of 2021, Corona will disappear. In 2022, we have seen it come back, and quite badly. So would you respond to this? And then I will come to Shweta and ask her about the numbers.
I was very clear right from the beginning that Corona is not going to go before April 2022. And I was expecting second and third wave, which has happened.
Ms. Jumani, coming to numbers, I do remember that in 2020, it was said that because it adds up to 4, this disaster has come. And then it was also said that 2021, because it adds up to 5, there will be hope. But the world turned topsy-turvy during that time. What would you attribute that to? And let me ask you, 2022, which adds up to 6. Where are we?
So you are right about our predictions about 2020. We knew this is coming. And much, much before, in December 2019, we said it's going to be a phosphorus year, not a prosperous year. For 2021, we had said it is a year of recovery, but healing will happen only in 2022. So we had no much high expectations from 2021. Being a number 5, it is Mercury. And Mercury, it goes here, there, it can do anything. Some things we said about 2021, about the travel happening, things getting back into action, OTT platforms doing well, banking sectors are starting now. But we knew it is not going anywhere.
When you say that 2021 was a year of recovery, the second surge was very lethal. So, in that sense, there was no recovery. In fact, there was more damage in 2021 than there was in 2020.
Whenever you are sick, there has to be a spurt, a big one. And that big spurt happens even if we have got a small boil on our hand. So just before breaking, it will always pain much, much more when the pus is inside. But when it breaks, it will really give you hell of a time. And that is what happened. Some unfortunate souls had to go in that. But after that, now you have seen the Omicron one. Omicron is not as lethal, as deadly, because 2022 is a Venus year. Venus means it is a mother. So for this year predictions, I've already said that this year you will all feel like you are in the arms of your mother. Though problems will come. We have said that maybe May, June, May, things will start getting back to normal.
So you don't agree with the astrological April when it would be on its way out, like Mr. Bambi said?
April, May mein kitna farak hai? There's hardly any difference. May is again ruled by Venus. So yeah, Mr. Bambi must be more closer to the target because May is a month of Venus. When we see the sun signs. In our numerology, we follow the sun signs. So Venus period is the Tauran period. वहां से healing start हो जाएगी because that is again ruled by Shukra, Venus.
Manisha, Kaushik, what do the tarot cards say? What did they say in 2020? What did they say in 2021? And we will come to 2022 after that.
So talking about 2020, like Shweta ji said, it sums up to number 4. Number 4 being Rahu's number created turbulence. Then we moved on to 2021, like she rightly said, it depicts Mercury, and Mercury doesn't sit at one place. It is a planet which can go either which way.
But 2021 was more lethal than 2020.
Okay, let me try and explain with the help of my tarot cards. So, starting from how COVID-19 started. So, we say COVID-19, it is 1 and 9. When COVID came, so it was in a movement stage. If you could see in my cards, there's something which is coming. Moving on to the next card of the series, there's Magician, which says that something, when you look at the Magician, you really don't know what you are actually going to see the next. There's a surprise element coming to it. Now, in tarot, there's a theory that whenever we see that there's a picture where something is sitting, for example, the next card in the series is High Priestess, it is sitting. Then there's an Empress, it is sitting. And then, the Emperor, again, which is sitting. So it had to stay for long. And, this was something which was already, we had already concluded as a part of our research as well, that it is not going anywhere. Never we had made a prediction about it that it is just going to disappear. Anyways, logically as well, if we see that something probably something like a virus, whenever it comes, it never just disappears, it never evaporates, it stays. But then we as people get immune to it, get used to it, and then it becomes a part of our regular routine without the people being affected as they were affected when it actually came in the beginning.
So when you say it is not going anywhere, what does that say about Dr. Bambi and Dr. Bang and Ms. Jumani's predictions that April, May 2022 will be the end of this pandemic?
See, like we said, you've put that in the right frame of words, that it will be an end of the pandemic. When we say about that, so we saw cholera, cholera was long back, say dengue, say chikungunya, say swine flu, everything came. Took so many lives as well. So this pandemic has come in a bigger shape now, but those things till date haven't gone anywhere. The people who had lost their near ones are still scared of when the members of their family are again affected with, say, dengue or say swine flu. But similarly, this, I would say, like right now, when we're talking about Omicron as well, people are getting infected, people are being treated as well, they're healing up, they're again getting back to life. So I think that way is my how I want to put it as that maybe this COVID will become a regular fever or a regular thing, and we'll stop calling it a pandemic anymore. I agree with their timelines.
But you don't agree with the definition.
Maybe that's my way to put it. But if you allow me to explain Omicron, then I would definitely help you. That why am I not agreeing with calling it that this pandemic is going to completely get over?
Okay, just explain it in 30 seconds.
Okay. So see, Omicron, if we understand all the, say, Delta or Omicron, so these are the Greek letters that have been derived from the Greek alphabet. So in Greek mythology, when I said that, tarot talks more about pictures. So in Greek mythology, Omicron is said to be a Greek god who's never happy, who's never happy seeing people living peaceful lives. So it wants to upset when everybody is collectively working towards well-being. So if you see that, that is something which is happening right now. Omicron is the 15th letter. So if you see from Delta, which is the 4th one, to 15th one, we've made a rapid jump. We've covered almost a lot of stages. That is one reason which is giving us hope. If you see, 15th card in tarot is the devil. So this is actually Omicron, taking control of people around us. And, but the good part of this card is that it talks about improvement. And that is what we are, moving on to.
Will it be like what Miss JUMAANI said, the year when you are in the arms of a mother?
I totally agree. But like I said, we're talking about 19. So the 19th card in tarot is Sun, which talks about life, which talks about hope. And before Sun, it comes the Moon, which is the 18th card. This is certainly the card which Shweta ji spoke about, the mother's arm. Because we know in astrology, numerology, Moon is said to be the mother. It is said to be, the Karaka for mother. So that is why I totally agree with what she said, that we are going to be in mother's arm, relaxing, and things are likely to be back to normal, soothed.
Dr. Bhambi, what are your predictions for 2022? You said April 13th or 14th, when Venus changes its position, things will improve. We are into January. So would you take us through what your predictions are vis-a-vis the pandemic, vis-a-vis how life would be in this year?
Actually, it's not Venus. It would be Jupiter. Jupiter is changing on 12th, 13th of April. Then Rahu, Ketus are also changing. Then third is Saturn is also changing on 29th of April. So many big planets are, taking their shift to another sign. So whenever this happens, it's a very big, moment as far as astrology is concerned. So now most of the planets are becoming all right. And this is a good year astrologically when we calculate the Samvatsar. So this is a good year starting from April, so which indicates this pandemic will go as it is. It will become, it is no longer a pandemic. They don't call it, scientists don't call it, WHO don't call it a pandemic. It's not a pandemic, it's endemic. So astrologically, since most of the planets are becoming better, so I see economy will be better, health will be better, environment will be better, there will be a lot of travel, and a lot of, hope will be there.
In the last 2 years, the pandemic dominated. So what are we in for now?
Okay, so this year, astrologically, Samvatsar is controlled by Saturn. Whenever a year is controlled by Saturn, it means if you are disciplined, if you are organized, if you are living orderly, so then life will become quite smooth for you. It may be health is concerned, wealth is concerned, or general well-being is concerned. So I think Saturn means if you have taken precautions earlier, or you are taking precaution on a regular basis, then it does not bother. And if you ruin your life, then Saturn is also there to ruin you more, because it doesn't help you. It says if you are living orderly, I'm with you, and if you are yourself don't follow any order, so why to expect from me?
Manisha, when we were talking last time, you said that you had, with the help of cards, worked out when will the economy look up, when will the business sector look up, when will tourism look up. Just take me through that in 2022. What will happen?
We do see improvement in most of the sectors. 2022, like Shweta ji said, being number 6, it talks about Venus, it talks about film industry, it talks about the luxury sector that which is there in India. So the overall economy is definitely going to see a boom. That is first thing that I see. Overall health is going to improve. Everything is going to get back to track, because we would be disappointing the god, the Greek, like I mentioned, the Greek god Omicron. So we will be disappointing him and moving towards sun. So when I say sun, so like I mentioned that Leo is the sun sign which is ruled by planet sun, and that is one reason I do see hope coming over towards the second half of the year.
Ms. Jumani, 2022 is number 6, and what does it indicate? What does 2022 have in store for us vis-a-vis numbers?
It is a great year for women, first thing. Secondly, it is also a year where a lot of banking industry, money, everything is going to be in a boom. All good things are there. There is peace. There's going to be a lot of good things. Relation between countries are also going to improve, and relation between people are going to improve. So it should be a very good year.
Dr. Bang, what are your predictions for 2022?
This year is definitely better than the last 2 years. That's a breath of fresh air. This is because astrologically, the planet Venus, which is a natural planet for romance and beauty, is in a much better position now compared to before. This planet Venus holds more importance for women. Females will be more dominant in all fields. She will feel more empowered.
Mr. Bang, what about health?
Once Jupiter will transit into a Pisces sign and the Saturn will transit into a Aquarius sign. That is going to happen on 29th April 2022 for next 4 months. April, May, June, July. That will be best for health.
Mahesh Bang is talking between April and July. And I'm going to ask all three of you, after July to December, and I'll begin with Dr. Bambi, what are the predictions? Do you agree with Mahesh Bang that April to July are a period when things look better, and after that we need to be cautious? So Dr. Bambi, and then Sweta and Manisha.
By and large, this year, starting from April onward, is going to be a better year in all respects. The kind of havoc we had seen in last 2 years, it will not be visible at all in this year.
What about after July, as Mahesh Bang has said?
I do not see any great havoc happening over there. I do not see. Obviously, mishap keeps on happening. Maybe some accident, maybe some, those sort of things, maybe some bomb blasts, those sort of things I could see. But, not the kind of thing it was happening at the mass level. Mass level things won't happen.
Sweta, do you agree?
I will divide it in 2 parts. First is, right now, India is in its 75th year of independence. That totals to number 3. So till August, India is going to be on a scaling height. All good things are happening, already happening, and they will continue to happen for India. Rest of the world, Europe, Asia, for them things are still good. Nothing bad happening over there. But second part, what I want to get to is, it is not the Omicron you all should be worried about. It is the disasters. I hope I'm completely wrong. Venus is very close to the sun. So it is always very hot. It's a very hot planet. So this year, tsunami, which already happened, the Tango one, you know that. And unfortunately, such incidences will be there. Heat waves, hot days. I hope I'm wrong, but people dying because of heat waves and such bad things is what actually is the bad thing about this year, not the Omicron.
So what you're saying is, and if I understand it correctly, that Omicron is one part, but what we really need to worry are natural disasters.
Yes. It's going to be very hot this year. Even in 2013, which totaled to number 6, You can check the records. It had the highest 10 days, highest heat. It broke all records that particular year also.
Is
Travel
it
in
going to be only a heat wave, or do you foresee other disasters as well?
disasters, unfortunately, and again I pray to God I'm wrong, that unfortunately disasters is what is going to happen.
So, are you saying that while Omicron will get over, there is more to worry about?
Yes, yes. I think
So then
Omicron
this,
is the least of the problems right now.
Manisha, do the cards correspond to what the others are saying?
Well, as per my research and what I get, the message from the cards is that I want to probably, when I say that after July, the life gets back to a bit of normal phase. So I would say divide, till reaching out to July is also like 6 months, 7 months. So I would divide that phase. So most likely after mid of February, we see the first set of improvement. Then after mid of April, we see the second improvement. And after July is when I see the constructive improvement coming forward. Whereas the other people, when they're talking about disasters, so we've seen that in the last so many years that whenever, the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipses, they come together in a, in a collective number of days. So there are disasters, whether it is attacks, it is, the fire blowing out somewhere, there's tsunami, there are clashes, whatnot. So there are some or the other things which have always surrounded, and so whether that is to blame only at 2022, I don't think so. We've seen that in the past so many years. So I would say that let's look at the bigger, brighter picture, and let's hope. Because my cards are giving me a lot of hope that life is going to get back to normal, the normal that we've been looking forward to.
Let me put the next question to all of you again, one by one. When would we be without masks and social distancing? And I'm going to request Shweta to answer this.
Some things come to stay. So whichever year it is, some things come to stay.
Dr. Bambi, do you agree with Shweta?
I think after September, there will not be a compulsory mask or people will be putting up masks.
Mahesh?
Mother Nature cannot be so cruel. So when the Saturn will move into permanently more in a stable in an Aquarius sign, that will be happen in January 2023. Then it will be mask free.
Manisha, do the cards correspond to this?
I see that happening towards the last quarter of this year. I would say that most likely after, say, in and around November 2022 to January, March 23. That should be the phase where maybe masks are not, we may not consider masks as compulsory.
COVID is one part, but let me ask, what is there in store for India and the world? Are we in for tough times, or will there be sunshine yet again? And Ms. Jumani, which years are numerically good and which are disastrous, say, taking a 10-year span?
There are two numbers that are most evil. They are 4 and 8. 2020 was number 4. 2015 total to number 8. So you have to calculate now. 2023 is a number 7. 2024 will again add up to 8. So ye 2 saals we are going to have a good time. Nothing so tragic. 2024 is again going to create some problems. But 1, 3, 5, 6 are the numbers in numerology which we consider as materialistic numbers, good numbers, any year ka total that falls on 1, 3, 5 and 6. So that we consider as good numbers.
Shweta Jumani, I'm going to conclude by asking you one simple question. Do you think India should be spelt differently?
Yes, very much, KUMKUM ji. Thank you for asking this question. I hope somebody in the right place hears us, and we should rename India to Bharat. So names have a very good effect. If we can bring it back to Bharat or Hindustan also, they total to good numbers, and it will really make a lot of difference.
Manisha Kaushik, Mahesh Bang, Shweta Jumani, and Dr. AJAIBHAMBI, thank you for being with us. Thank you for your time. And thank you for taking us through what stars foretell.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you so
having
much.
us.
Thanks.